Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's story time with Ebony, the black butterfly. Y'all, I got a story to tell. So I'm finally at a place in my life to where I'm actually able to tell this story. I was thinking the other day, I was like, I went through so much in my life and I have never told the story. And it's hard at first to get it out because I'm like, oh. But I'm not going to waste no more time. I'm going to go ahead and get the story out. I was raised a Jehovah's Witness. And in this religion, I was molested over and over and over again. This was by it seemed like this religion was the place for pedophiles to hide. And you could change your life by just being baptized or becoming a productive person in the organization, even though you still had that stuff behind you. Back in the 80s and in the early 90s, they were not protective of children. And I was victimized so much that as an adult, I had problems with relationships. I had problems with self-identity. I had insecurity issues. I just was not self-aware of anything. I had this Bible that was just beaten into me. And it was constantly one of those things to where if you get disciplined, my parents were, if you're disciplined, you got to go read the Bible. They would discipline you with a scripture and then beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? It was the type of stuff that I just was like, wait a minute, this is how God operates? Like, this is not, I was different from a child. I knew God did not operate the way this religion operated. My town was a small town, and baby, I swear, all the people just recycled each other through this religion. It was not a safe place to be. So growing up, I realized that was not going to be something that I would put into my children, because I felt like my parents or my mother didn't protect me the way she should have, especially being in a religion that is supposed to be so pure and so right and so open and so loving and such a good community. It is a breeding ground for pedophiles. And the way their system works to report things that happen to you as a child, it's not conducive with what the way the laws should work. It was never one of those things to where you go to the police department, you report it, and you let them know what happened to you as a child. They are the exact opposite. What they do is they bring the victim. Yes, I said victim because you victimized several times. They bring the victim to these body of brothers, which is an elder. A group of elders. It could be 4, it could be 2, but normally it's 2 of them. They take your information, they take the statement that you're making, and then they ask you if you're telling the truth about everything. You say, yes, I'm telling the truth. I know what happened to me, and I know it was wrong. They will make you confront the person that you're making the accusation about. Like, they bring you both in the same room and make you have a conversation. That is the most devastating thing you can do to a child that I swear I do not want to ever experience again when it comes to that religion. I never felt safe. I don't know how you're supposed to feel safe. I don't know that religion will ever be a place of safe haven for anybody. Long story short, I disassociated myself as an adult, and I never went back. I do not want to impose that type of trauma on myself again or my children. That is not a desire that I had. I've been very traumatized from leaving that religion, and it's very much put a bad damper on like healthy relationships and even trying to build with others, because you're so scared. You don't know. You've been beat into the world. It's been beat into you that you can't be a part of the world, or you can't be a part of these people that have never been associated with Jehovah's Witnesses. If you hang with them, then you're wrong, and you're pretty much gonna die outside of God's favor. It's kind of like a beating depression, to where a lot of people will leave this religion and they hurt themselves because they don't think that there's any other way out of the thinking that they've been drilled in for years. And that's a very scary space to be in. So I'm telling my story because I want my sisters and the ones that were molested, I want us to speak up. I want us to hold each other's hands. I want us to be that extra push that you need when you step outside that religion. Once you leave that religion, you don't have any friends. You don't have anybody. And it's such a cold world when you have to redo everything that you did not know. And it's very scary because you're so trusting. You're so vulnerable. You're so weak. And any piece of love that you can get outside of that religion feels refreshing, because it's like I can build something new. I can create a new story. I will say this. My people that I have always known in this religion, I remember when I was about 13 years old, I had a friend of mine who developed leukemia as a child, and her family ended up putting her into treatment. They put her into treatment and she ended up getting sicker. Well, now it got to a point to where she needed a transfusion. And she wasn't baptized at the time, but she made a decision not to take a blood transfusion, which, if you don't know, FYI, Jehovah's Witnesses do not accept blood products or transfusions. Okay? So she made the decision that she did not want to take a transfusion, and she passes away. When I tell you, that was the most devastating thing, to watch a family be so helpless and them tell you, come to a hospital and pray over your child and tell you that they'll be better off in the paradise, and that they shouldn't take any type of blood products or buy blood products to save your child's life, that you should let it all be in God's hands. That is the most evil part of that religion that I will never go back to. Like, I watched families suffer. I watched people die. I watched them all in the name of the Kingdom Hall and Jehovah's Witnesses. I've watched people leave this earth in faith of a resurrection and in faith of a paradise here on earth. This is what they teach you. This is what they tell you it's going to be. It's going to be a new heavens and a new earth. The earth is going to be destroyed by fire. All the good people are going to stay on the earth and they're going to recreate this paradise. And then all of the bad people, they're going to die and they're going to just be no more. Y'all, how many people, I know there's a lot of people out here and they don't think about it. How many grandparents, great-grandparents, and people before us were praying on this same desire? They had the same belief. And it's been the same thing going on for umpteen years. I feel like that is such a predatory way to get people to come into your zone or your religion and control them. That is the way you do that. That's control. So, no more. Like I said, no more. And I'm going to speak up for all of my people that have excommunicated themselves, no longer Jehovah's Witnesses, and they keep moving around as introverts, and they're all nervous and scared, and people wanting to end their lives because they've separated from a religion and that's all they've known. I'm your girl. Reach out. Let's talk. Let's talk. We all got stories. We all have stories, and we are called the lost children. We have stories. And I was a full-time pioneer, baptized full-time pioneer. I went out preaching every day. I was always knocking on people's doors every Saturday. I know the whole routine. So there's nothing nobody can tell me. Okay? I know where to find Jehovah's name in the Bible. Psalms 83:18. You see what I'm saying? Like it's certain things that you just. So I'ma say it like this. My people, find peace. Know that it's gonna be okay. Find somebody like your minds and have a conversation. And don't be afraid to explore different things, because you're gonna find your purpose. Just give it time. Just give it time and open your mind and open your eyes and open your mouth. Speak up for yourself. Don't allow this religion to traumatize you and make you silent. Until next time, that was the end of my story time about that one. But next time it's going to be a more brighter story. But yeah, I left the Kingdom Hall and I'm not going back. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Peace.